All right, this is Ger Rebbe Nachman, Volume 2, Class 2, Session 2, everything 2. We are in the Tinyana Lamed Gimel, in the Ger references of Rebbe Nachman. We're not going to take questions, at least I think so. We're not going to take questions. And I prepared the text earlier on, so I think we're good in the Hebrew, and I want to really give this over in a deep way. All right, so here we go. This is 33 in the Tinyana. We're going to focus on Jethro the Ger. Vayichad Yisro al kol ha'toiveh. Jethro. Now this word Vayichad, it is impossible to say that you know what that word means. On one hand, it's Lashon Chedva, arousing joy. Do you know what arousing joy means, gentlemen? You probably think about it, right? Arousing joy. Or it might mean sharp. Or another word is acute. Acute joy. That might not be a good thing, is it? When you're slap happy at 3 in the morning and someone tells a joke, that's acute joy. It's not a pleasant feeling, but it's very funny. So, you know what I'm saying? You know, I always like to make a half whatever. Nothing was ever good in this world that was acute. If you have a pain in your leg, that's one thing. But if you told me you have an acute pain, you're thinking hospital. Or if you get acute intoxication, you get a bit nervous. Or acute joy. I guess 2 seconds ago I said I wasn't going to make any jokes to make this serious, but now I'm going to tell a joke. George Carlin has a joke, and I always bring in George Carlin to prove a point, right? He says things that people say that make no sense. It says, how's Bob doing? Bob's in the hospital. He was more than happy. so, you see, acute has it's a that was an acute joke, okay? You know what I mean? It's like, beware of the dogs. And then you say, wow, that guy really meant it. Beware of the dogs. The Far Side cartoon, there's a guy behind a tree. It says, beware of Doug. Doug. So that's an acute joke. But anyways, you get the point. I'm opening it up. You know what the word is chedva. You see what chedva is? You see how it inspired kind of like a funnier than normal joke? I mean, these are like, beware of Doug is a funny one. So that's chedva. It's joy. It's Purim, right? We say Purim, Marvim and Simcha, but it's chedva. When you're in the meal on Purim and it's like you're drunk, and not that I believe in what people do on that one, but you can imagine, it's the mitzvah or happy, the meal, it's chedva, right? It's a bit of a zetz with the Simcha. Like, the day after Purim, people remember what they did on Purim. If they do remember, they remember. Jethro was chedva on all the good. Now you can imagine a little bit more about Jethro. He just found out God is true. Remember how you were when you first became a Baal Tshuva? You were a bit weird. Remember? When you first found out that God was real. Every Baal Tshuva goes through it. It's like, what do I do? I love God. Should I go screaming in the street that I love God? So that was Jethro. Jethro was the original Baal Tshuva. If Naaman was the mature, calm, cool, collected Baal Tshuva, Jethro was your, hey everybody! Okay. The rabbi said, the rabbi said that he made his flesh chedva. His flesh was supreme joy. Obviously, male-female stuff is one connotation, but that's not what we're talking about here. But that's where it can go. In that world, that genre, it's that. But with the joy of the mitzvah, Rebbe Nachman has a question Why was Jethro so aroused in his body? Flesh. Now, don't think that flesh felt that good. We're going to understand, I'll let the cat out of the bag. Why did his body let his soul rejoice? Your bodies will not let your soul rejoice because you're too interested in other things, right? Rabbi, I would love to sit and learn, but I can't. I have no sitzfleisch. I can't sit in a chair very long. Well, then I guess you're not going to be learning, then, are you? But if I could have sitzfleisch, I would learn all day. Your body has to cooperate. Why do you stop wrestling at 25 years old? Not because you're not skilled. And a 35-year-old man can pulverize a 25-year-old kid, right? But he can only do it once. He has one bullet in the gun, right? A tournament, he's going to be one tweak in the knee, he's done. The 25-year-old has a rubber knee all day long. So all the more so if it's a particularly strong 25-year-old, we call that a champion. Right? Every old guy wishes to come back. Michael Jordan could probably have one great game at 55 years old. Right? But that's what he's worth, one game. And he's huffing and puffing. You know? So that's why we all have the dreams and delusions of grandeur that we have one more go and the things we want to do. I mean, I still believe I could get on the mat and do it. And I could, but for about 10 seconds. All moments of joy are within moments or of the moment. Example is the mashal simcha shel chatuna ol bris. When do you have this acute joy? That's the question, right? When do you have this acute joy? In, let's call it the permissible way. Making the groom and bride joyous at a wedding. A wedding is a naturally good time. Nobody ever got depressed at a wedding. Even me, when I go to the weddings, I'm generally not into like the shtusim, people jumping up and down like on porn. But a wedding, I'll tolerate it. I'll even dance at a wedding if I have to. But otherwise, no, I'm not interested. And a bris. No one ever got upset at a circumcision, right? And hey, I don't like to socialize. Leave me alone. At a bris, okay. Hi, how you doing, Phil? How you doing? I'm good, Steve. How you doing? I'm all right. Right? We're willing to do the schmaltz at a bris. The simcha is only a moment. I know that the bris is over in 20 minutes, and then I'm back to my life. So I can stomach talking to you for 20 minutes. I don't want the whole, sit down for the meal and so it's a moment. The chedva is a moment. Obviously, with male, female, it's also a moment. God made it that way, right? The real joy of this world. How about eating lasagna? It's great for a second. I mean, one bite, right? The whole thing, you never get a lasagna the size of a pizza. They've never done that. You get a lasagna the size of a biscuit. And it's that was awesome. But I don't want to look like a chazer at the restaurant and order 500 lasagnas. So I have one. And I suffer, we'll say, I have one good lasagna. Or, you know what I'm saying? You don't go, if you want a Kit Kat candy bar, you don't go and buy 100 of them. You accept the fact, I got one Kit Kat. Or whatever it is. You don't, it's just known. You don't act like a total pig in this world. Somebody puts out a challah on Shabbos, you don't eat the whole loaf. Even though you could. Right? What is it? Whatever potato chip, bet you can't eat just one. But yeah, you don't eat the whole bag. You just save 2 or 3, but not the whole bag. Alright. But if you look at the end, see, that's a nice chop. If you look at the end. You know why it's a nice chop? When you ordered lasagna, you didn't look at the end. You were delusional and you didn't want the end to come. You said, okay, first bite, I have most of it left. Second bite, still got most of it left. Third bite, all right, it'll be over soon. Fourth bite, man. No one ever says, this lasagna is practically already over. So, what does he mean if we look at the end? I'm not looking at the end. I don't want it over. But the true joy is when you look at the end. I told Jacques, I want this South African trip over. I want this year finished. Why? Because I know when I get to Texas in August, we did a lot of great stuff. I don't want to go through it and think about it. I just want it done. That's because I know the joy at the end. When the year is over and I say, we got South Africa, we did the book, we did this. And Jacques like, but just enjoy them during it. No, that's not the joyful part. Ein shum simcha bi'olam. There's no joy in the world. Nothing really is going to measure to the time of death when you get to the Shekhinah. Now, you're afraid of your body dying. You're not afraid of where your soul's going to go. If you're a ger, you're certainly not afraid of your soul's fate. None of us are fearing where our souls are going to go. You're afraid of the dying experience. You're going to be hacked up in some guy's garage. And it's like, okay, this is how I go out. But in life, there's no joy like beholding the Shekhinah that you're going to see. We believe in life after death. I mean, look, I know I'm a Ben Olam Haba, not because I'm a ger rabbi, because I saved my kids' lives. Okay, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that's worth at least a portion of the world to come. Agreed? Yeah. I might be a nasty person in rabbinics, but at least 2 little kids love me, and I know for a fact that's enough. Being a ger, rejecting idolatry, okay, it is enough that you get Olam Haba. Despite the fact that Rambam and the sources say so. Practically speaking, are you guys B'nai Olam Haba? Yes or no? Okay. You would like to work on it, whatever that means for you. But you're not questioning whether or not you're going to go to hell for not believing in Jesus. Correct? Okay. So nothing in this world really measures up to the revelation that you're going to get for having had truth in this lifetime. You're not going to see the Shekhinah like on the day of your death, right? But you know when you leave your body, it's going to be amazing. Okay, the tsar of leaving your body won't be so great, but you're going to get to a place of consciousness. Now, what did we say 5 minutes ago? Your body doesn't let you have joy in this world. If you would stop fearing about your death, you would have joy. You say, but I'm not afraid to die. I'll die. Come on, macho man. Like, I'll die. Okay, so let's go. I'll hack you up in the garage. Well, I don't want to die that way. Yeah, I'm not afraid of you, Rabbi Katz, but I don't want my head chopped off and put in a bucket. Why? Because you're not afraid of even the knife. You're afraid of the embarrassment. I went out my head in a bucket. And then it's on CNN. 3 people died today. It's like, is that really how you want to go out? So, if I promised you wouldn't be embarrassed and you died a nice, calm death, then you'd chill. You'd chill. But you don't know how you're going to die. Even Moses didn't know how he was going to die. So none of us are afraid of death. Because we know you get God. We don't want to be shown the embarrassment. Oh, look what happened to him. So that little doubt prevents you from enjoying this world. If you can remove that, Moses got the kiss of death. So he had probably the most joy in this world of anybody. But we all have doubts. And if you can remove that doubt, it's Me'ein Olam Haba. It's a world to come in this world. Ki sof Adam. And it says to look in Brachas 17. And I have to admit, I didn't look it up. So I don't know. I actually would like to look it up now. That's a shame. Because I was at a show this morning, didn't have it. But I thought, oh, funny bone. Hit a funny bone. Woo! How you doing, folks? Ooh, okay. All right. How you doing? All right. So everything's numb and tingly. What I thought of on that thing, yeah, I'm going to challenge you. Jock, if you can go online while I'm giving this discourse, go online and type in Berachot, Berachot, 17. And one of those websites will come up. And I want you to look for, in the English, where it says, the end of all men. And I want you to read it. And ignore me. I'm going to explain to these two guys what I think it means. It may even be quoting what I think it says, but again, I wasn't able to look it up. But what I thought, and my own, look, I have the right to an opinion here, but he meant something. I'm thinking he's thinking Solomon, Koheles, Ecclesiastes, the end of all men is fear God and keep His commandments. The Sof Kol Davar, the end of all matters. I just want to double check my word because I don't want to go on record as saying this. Is the pshat? If 17 brachas says the pshat is 100% not what King Solomon said. So let me know when you find that. But let's entertain this thread. If the end of all matters is fear God and keep His commandments, I have to be happy about the end. Correct? Mm-hmm. My body doesn't want to cooperate. Correct? Right. I am impure in my body, therefore. Correct? Mm-hmm. I want to get drunk every day because I'm an alcoholic. Not really, but let's pretend. So my body is used to the blood levels, the alcohol levels in my blood. So I have, and then there's a klipa now. I can't sleep unless I get drunk. So now my body is regulated to this little impure lifestyle. There will be consequences for my actions. I think it's appropriate to yell at my wife because I'm drunk. Right? Now you're going to tell me about the mitzvah of shalom bayis, correct? And I'm going to be like, yeah, well, she has a right to be wrong too. I'm going to defend the lie. So, did I accept the fear of God and keep His commandments? No. I'm a kofar. I deny the Torah. So then, am I happy? No. Will I tell you how happy I am? Yeah. And I'll probably be drunk when I'm doing it, like, hey man, I'm so happy. I have fabricated happiness. That's why I drink. Now, fill in the blank with any taiva there. Okay? I like to steal. I steal in my company. Okay? Therefore, the Torah says, don't steal. What do I say? Well, they deserved it. So therefore, I don't keep the whole Torah. Am I happy? No. But I will tell you, money brings happiness. And we'll say, we heard it doesn't. I'll say, do I not seem happy to you with all my stuff? And you don't have any money, because mazel will mean I hang out people beneath me. So what are you going to say? I'm happier than you are, even though you have everything and I have nothing. Because I'm going to say, what do you have? And what are you going to say? Now it's a matter of ego, and you lose. My ego beat your ego. So now, you see, it's an endless game. Therefore, I am not happy. I don't fear God. I didn't keep the commandments. My body is a wreck. It is impure. Yada, yada, yada. Was that an acute conversation? Yes. Alcohol, I'm acute. My stealing, it's acute. When I shut you down, it's acute. I have more stuff, you have nothing, it's acute. My impurities are acute. My lack of belief in God is acute. When it comes out how I don't believe in God, it'll be a very acute way. Right? We said the other night, your moon is lacking. So wow, Rabbi Katz knows all this stuff, but we think he believes in Jesus. It's going to be radically acute. Radically. That's why the guy has an ego. I'm 95% kosher, but you have a major problem with me. Why don't you honor my 95%? You're going to say, I can't compromise on that. So now we have a fight. We're going to fight. So there's no happiness. Now you see, it's right? And again, fill in the blanks with any of these averas and ding da dang da ding da ding da dang. Okay. Did you find 17?
I found something.
Okay. Is it?
Babylonian Talmud Tractate Barachot, folio 70.
That's right. Now, do you see anything about when the end of man? Something about Kisof Adam, when it's the end of man, the end of man.
Is it an A?
Probably. Kisof Adam, the end of man. Okay, let me know when you have it. Aval im yistakel al hasof shel hasof. Im yistakel al hasof. The end is just death. And at death, let's call that when I realized the whole Torah. I was about to die, and I realized, I should have feared God more and kept the mitzvahs. That's the beginning of the Shekhinah. How do you know that? How do you know it's the beginning of the Shekhinah? Yiras Shemayim Reishis Chochma. Beginning of wisdom is fear of the Lord. What does God do? He scares you half to death. Therefore, you get wisdom when you die. That wisdom was a rocket launch in order for you to behold the Shekhinah. That's all. We had to scare you half to death to get you to recognize the Shekhinah. Did you have to die? No. Be scared to death in this world, and you'll behold the Shekhinah. But you have to know the truth so much so that you see the end in this world. That's what we're going to focus on. Can you see God in this world? Okay? Now, by the end of the end, can you see beyond death? No eye has ever beheld Olam Haba. But in theory, imagine if you could perceive where your soul goes, and there's literally no blockage of your body. Okay, did you find it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
When Rabbi Yochanan finished the book of Job, he used to say the following: the end of man is to die.
That's all?
No, there's not. And the end of beast is to be slaughtered. And all are doomed to die. Happy is he who was brought up in the Torah, and whose labor was in the Torah, and who has given pleasure to his Creator, and who grew up with a good name, and departed the world with a good name. And of him Solomon said, a good name is better than precious oil, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. Okay,
It was Solomon, but not like I said so. No, it was. I think what I brought was a good compliment to Solomon. Not Solomon, but the Talmud. But look what the Talmud brought. Day of death, we covered it. Happy is he. What were the other points? Read just give me the bullet points one more time. Just the bullet points.
Okay.
Just
he was brought up in the Torah.
Yeah.
Whose labor was in the Torah.
Okay, so fear God, keep His commandments. Agreed?
Yeah. Who has given pleasure to his Creator.
That pleasure, dafka, hello. Yeah.
Who grew up with a good name.
That's the whole thing. Yeah.
Departed with a good name.
You died. You died well.
That's it.
Okay, good. Now, the end of the matter. At the end of 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 the end. Then he is very happy. If you knew the delight of your soul, you wouldn't be happy, you would be more than happy. Acutely happy. Kisof kol davar. Kisof kol sof. Dahainu the tachlis hu tayv ma'od. The sixth day of creation. God saw all that he did, and behold, it was very good. They say it's the Yetzer Hara that reverts to the Yetzer Tov. When bad reverts and goes back to good, Anakin Skywalker is returned from Darth Vader. And that is called the end of the end. As yesh lo ismach miyoy ki sof kol soif al hainu tachas hu tov ma'od. So if you, funny bone, if you were to get your body, which is evil, you're an animal. Your body's an animal. Your soul is the divine quality. Your job is to refine that animal into like an angelic being. And I'll give you a little hint. That's how it's going to end with Jethro. He did that, just so you know how it ends. We're going to see at the end of Rebbe Nachman. So you realize you're given an animal. We say that a 20-year-old is the apex or whatever of an animal. Because why do you have post-traumatic stress disorder until you're 40? Because your body doesn't stop. It wants food. It wants pleasure, right? And you don't think about God because you're so strong and healthy in your taivas. And you don't have a brain. So if I told you the wisdom, you'd punch me. You're a wild, stupid kid. And then at 40, you'd say, well, I was a wild, stupid kid. That's why I know it all now. Right? So God made you an animal. And then your job is to find God and stop being an animal and refine the animal till where the animal serves the soul. The animal says, hey, soul, let me take you around town and treat you right and guard you. Right? Your nefesh, your neshama, on the nefesh level we talked about, your liquid state. That's the waters that live on. Your liquid returns to the spiritual world, right? The liquid state of the waters of the second day of creation, so to speak. You elevate. Your body is siphoning those liquids, right? Illicit sweat, illicit drinking, illicit fluids, right? You take from your nefesh. If my body learns to cooperate with the nefesh, I can sweat for a mitzvah. I can drink for a mitzvah. I can eat for a mitzvah. My nefesh says, body, I'll let you have the sweat, because then God will give me new liquid. God will send me Kiddush wine, and that will the wisdom will tell the Kiddush wine to replenish my fluids. But if we don't do Kiddush, I'm going to give you for my fluids, because you're going to make me, and God won't bring me the replenishment. Please don't do it, because I will like die. But I won't totally die, but I'll feel like dying. Like low-level dying. Well, when you're vomiting, that's the opposite of food going in. That's not life. If food's coming out, I can't be alive. So even though it's not a regular death, it's kind of death. If it's not coming in, if it's coming out, there's a problem. And you need to work with your soul. Yes, soul, I will take you to the Kiddush wine. If we say, soul, I want you to empower me at the pub, there's a problem. And that is the whole ratio. The holy body says, the females at the pub make me impure. I don't want to go there. I want to go to the mikveh. That means I have to be married. That means it's pure. And that means, soul, you're getting your liquid. And God has entrusted the liquid in the body of man. That's the chiddush, that your nefesh is liquid. Because your body is the vessel and your soul is deposited in your body. If your soul was a brick, your body would cater to a brick. It can happen. I just don't see bricks this way. Right? We don't eat mud to strengthen the brick. You drink water to strengthen the liquid. Science and Kabbalah meet halfway. Now, God could have made my insides concrete. And then you just add concrete. But this is how God made the world. Water flows. It's the divine structure. So the liquid became, when it says the beginning of creation, the nefesh and the waters, the teeming, this and that, you are just the holiest part of that. If God created the waters in the second day, third day, by the end of 6,000 years, you have been entrusted with the holy parts of those waters. And like the holy part starts to become intelligent. Right? If you were grass, you would be dumb. We just have grass growing inside of us. But God made it that water is intelligent. You ever heard of this thing that you can play Mozart to water and it reacts? Water is intelligent. Therefore, your waters are very intelligent. And you can make it extremely, acutely intelligent if you enjoy your waters. But you have to be able to envision where those waters will end up. This is what God says to Job. Were you there in creation? Do you know where you're going to go? You don't know where your water is going to go. Which system will your soul, or better yet, where were you taken from? Let's say there's a happy place in the world. Let's pretend and say Niagara Falls is the epitome of a dog treading water. His dog's loving it. Your soul, or Niagara Falls, is like soul heaven. It's Disneyland for the soul. It's Disneyland. When your soul goes to the Niagara Falls, you're in Disneyland. Do you know that you're going to go to Disneyland? Can you identify Disneyland? Maybe the pond in your backyard is Disneyland. How do you know where God made Disneyland? You don't know. Maybe the faucets in New York are Disneyland. I don't know. But if you knew, your insides would already be in Disneyland. And when you die, you're going to go to Disneyland. Your water's going to absorb in the ground and join with the moisture, and that moisture will end up in Disneyland. But maybe you will end up in a cesspool. That is not Disneyland. Now, the consciousness of it, I don't know. I'm not in Disneyland. I don't know. What does it mean when your consciousness is shifted from body protecting soul to just soul? And that's what you're afraid of when you die. You don't want to know what happens to the body. But if you had just a soul, you would know the consciousness of it. Jethro is going to know that consciousness. Remember, your body, or your liquid, is intelligent. It's intelligent. There's wisdom in liquid. When you sweat, it's because you're nervous or you're excited. That's an intelligence, is it not? That it told you to sweat. So just because you go like that doesn't mean there wasn't wisdom in the water. Imagine that thought. There's wisdom in the water. Well, why is that a problem? You don't think a cup of Kiddush is holy? You don't believe in that? You don't believe Borei Priya Gafen means something, that you make a bracha on it? Why is there not consciousness there? Why do you have the right to say there's not consciousness there? When an animal dies, that's it. Its waters are not holy. So it doesn't care that we eat the deer. And the deer knows that it's going to sprout out of the ground and a newly reborn deer. And so it's going to keep doing this, says King David. That's why offerings are so amazing. The deer knows it's going to die and then be reborn. Can you change the deer's pattern? No. Does it care? No. You cut its leg off for fun. Okay, you lose. You're a jerk. You shouldn't have done it. No. It doesn't care. It doesn't have ego like you. That's why on the altar, if you're the deer, I cut your leg off because you're a jerk. You say, okay, you're a jerk. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow as a new deer. No ego, right? But if I say, deer, come on, I want you to go to the temple and I want to offer you on the Mizbeach, on the altar. Wouldn't you be excited if you're a deer? I was going to die anyways. But now I get to really die. Like, already is over. Like, once I'm done, I'm done. But now you're telling me I go out on the altar? That's amazing. There was already no tomorrow. So now you're saying my last moment is with God? That's a bracha. But we don't want to go out on the altar because we're still afraid of where we're going to go afterwards. The deer knows where he's going. But I know the deer says, I know now when I'm born, I'm coming from the altar. You're saying if you kill me, I don't know where I'm going to, let alone how I'm going to come back. That's your ego. There's consciousness. Now, right? We only care about your neshama. Right? The tov ma'od, the joy, the Disneyland for the nefesh. The very fact that you have no idea what I'm talking about is because it's your neshama. Right? Your body's not there to taint it with your ego. You can tell me where you want to go with your ego. I want to go to Disneyland and play on the ride, and that's just your opinion. Ask me my opinion about what Moshe Rabbeinu would like to have for breakfast. An egg sandwich. It's my opinion. It means I want an egg sandwich. You know? Only my neshama would know what another neshama would want. I don't know. I'm not a neshama. I have taivas and I have a body and I'm not perfect. I don't know what Disneyland is. In fact, I do know what Disneyland is. And so do you. What did Moshe Rabbeinu like to eat for breakfast? Manna. Manna was the one food that wasn't ego. Right? Divine food. But everyone complained about the manna, which is another way of saying they had ego. Right? But I don't know. But then the question is, well, then what is manna? I have no idea. That I cannot know. I cannot know. And it's the side of death is very good, right? We said death in the Yetzer Hara is very good in the sixth day of creation. Why is it very good? Because you're going to know where Disneyland is. You're worried about your head being chopped off. Why are you not more excited that you will know where Disneyland is? Because your body's impure and you have ego, and your body is telling your soul it cares where its head goes more than your neshama. That's like saying, I'll give you food in a wrapper, but while you're eating it and saying how good it is, I'm going to say, please throw the wrapper away while you're eating it. Why can't I just let you enjoy the food? You know those people? They give a negative with the positive. Right? So I'm going to give the garum a great cheer, and I'm going to call you goyim as I give it. Why? Why? You know those people do that, right? The cop pulls you over, and he says, hey, I know you. Here's your ticket. Why? We were friends. He says, can I have your autograph? Here's the ticket. Come on, you know? So it's like this. It's the negative, the ego, battling the pleasure of the soul. And the good, the very good, is when there's no ego, you just follow the path of the soul. So you would actually be able to meditate on the rakia, the firmament of your soul, if you would stop being you. Just stop. Why? Stop. Why do you have to do it? Stop. You won't. You won't. That's what we say, the complicated part of the world. You can, it's just complicated. Quit your job and learn Torah. You can, right? Technically. A little complicated. You know, hey, Rebbe Katz, you like Cape Town? Yeah. We need a rabbi to help Brian here. Would you like to do it? Yeah. Okay, so stay. Not so pashut. But if you could follow in your mind the pathway of your soul to Disneyland. You could go to Disneyland. Whatever that is. I mean, imagine Disneyland is drinking water every day at 6 o'clock sharp. Just making it up. So it's like, bad day. Oh, wait a second. Watch it. Give a cup of water. Disneyland. Then, 5:30 tomorrow. I'm doing good. What's wrong with cats? Just watch it. Got a cup of water? All right, so you would know the secret pathways of your soul. All I know is every day at 6 o'clock, I get a drink of water. My whole life, I never once didn't have water offered at 6 o'clock, and I didn't know why. Now I know why. Hey, you want to go for a beer? What time is it? 5:30? You can say I got to give a shear. Let's go, Jacques. Let's go to the bar. You ready to get a beer? I'm going to get a glass of water. Ready? Watch it. There it is. I would live a perfect life. It's like my one rule is never miss 6 o'clock water. I mean, who knows what it is? Who knows? When you're already thinking like that, it can be anything. And you're already doing it, but you don't realize that's the thing that it is. Maybe it's just waking up every day. Maybe it's going to bed every day. Maybe it's washing your hands every day. Maybe it's saying thank you once a day. Who knows? You won't let yourself know because you're an egotistical person. You'd rather give shear to him than get beer with him. I would think a shear with you is better than a beer with him. But did you ever think, you don't need shear? You have your own problems and you're abusing me and he needs a friend to hear with the beer and I need my water? You're too egotistical to know. Okay. Like the rabbi said in the Bereshis Rabbah, Hine tov ma'od zeh, ki hu tov ma'od she'al yado boya l'tachlis hatov. The day of death is when you come to the essence of good. Not that you reach it, you come to it. Right? The journey of the goodness starts. You've accepted, okay, my head's in a bucket, or whatever it is. Because no one's going to die with dignity. Right? The angels aren't going to carry you with a harp. Right? You're going to be embarrassed a little bit the day you die. Not fun. You know? Oh, he had so much potential. Now we have to talk about how you failed in life, and we have to give you an, what's it called again? The, eulogy. You're getting a eulogy. Well, so what do they do? Because there's Rahmanis in this world, we talk about how great you were at the eulogy. And no one says, he was a chump. He was a lowlife. So, even your ego is ridiculous. Even though you're embarrassed, we're not even going to talk about it. We're not going to sit here and make fun of you in your funeral. No one ever made fun of anyone at a funeral. That's one thing we don't do in this world. So then you have no excuse to not do good now. Ach mi shehud tzadik, afilu gufo naki v'kadosh mayod, ach yachol ismoach gam im gufo. A tzadik, what is a tzadik? Tell me.
Righteous person.
What is a tzaddik?
Yeah.
No. What's a tzaddik?
A tzaddik is a holy, good.
Thank you. He's right, you guys are wrong. Why? Why is he right and you're wrong? Holiness fixes the body then releases the soul. I don't care about what you think about your good actions. Doesn't do anything that you think you're great, and he said it. But people don't know what to work on. Now you only said that because they got it wrong, so you changed your answer.
No. Well, Zakis taught us it's a holy person, it's a pious person.
Right, but you see the point. We all want to be righteous. What do you work on? I would say I should be a great person, a holy person, or whatever, you're righteous. No. We all think that. But did you ever think, clean up your act? Make yourself holy? That's the thing. You don't think that way. No one does. No one wakes up saying, how can I purify my body today? You're working on your soul. Why do you need to work on what's perfect? Your soul's already perfect. Work on yourself. Work on your body. It's a total chiddush. Total chiddush. Total chiddush. Your body is taking an imprint from your soul to say, the soul wants to be righteous, I want to be righteous. That's your ego. Your body's just mimicking the soul. But your soul's not the one that needs repaired. Your soul needs replenished because your body rips it off. So you might need to come back in a new body. The new body will help your soul recover. That wasn't because your soul was evil. Tzadik v'ralo, rasha v'tovlo. Tzadik v'ralo means you're good, but your body's a bit coarse. Rasha v'tovlo, you're a bad person with naturally good vibes. I mean, your body is naturally, or how to say, rasha v'tovlo. Your body cooperates even though it's coarse. Tzadik v'ralo, you are a truly good person, but your body is incredibly coarse. You do things inappropriate. You can't stop it. But you are actually a healthy soul. Rasha v'tovlo, your soul is not that healthy. Your body is really, really pure and clean. And you look good, you sound good, you make me feel good, but you are a jerk inside in your relationship with God. Because your soul, the way the Vilna Gaon explains it, in your last life you were abusive to your soul. So that soul came back in an especially good body. Now you can imagine the problem. Those kind of people are womanizers. Because you look great, you sound great, and you're not particularly evil, but you're very weak. So the Russia is going to seduce women very easily. And why? Because you need the woman to satisfy your soul. The test for you, this is all the Vilna Gaon and Evan Shlema, is marry the right woman that will replenish your soul and don't use her waters against her. See how, we talked about this yesterday. This is all Jewish karma. It's like mazel. All checks and balances. For the will to receive mitigated and balanced with appropriate complications, right? So the tzaddik is very clean and holy, right? He doesn't have the coarseness of the flesh and the poor state of soul. Then he's able to be very happy also with his body. I get a great wife, we love each other in every way, and it's not abusive or exploitation. Even if he looks at the end, I know that I will die, and with my family and my wife and my kids will know Abba was okay. Rabbi Kornfeld was okay. He got hacked in a minion by Arabs and he was okay. It just is okay. He's just not pressed and worried about your problems. Since that also his body was holy and pure. He really believes if you kill me, I died as a martyr. And then everyone's going to be like, wow, go Rabbi Kornstein. He was great. We bury him in his... He's not pressed. You just can't threaten me. All right? You want to pick out, each finger from my hand, like torture me? Oh, okay, if that's what you want to do. See, the holier the body, the less he clings to it. And it's not because he has disregard for his body. He knows he's sanctified. He's just not afraid. Yeah, it's embarrassing, but maybe not. It's just not. It's just not. In 5th grade, if you raise your hand and ask a question, I'll make fun of you, right? In class? In college, will I make fun of you? No. So there's two different situations. But if a 5th grader saw you in college, would he laugh at you? Yeah. Would you care about what a 5th grader thinks of you now? No. As it's written, Elohim, with God I trust. What will happen with my body? That the body, the meat, the flesh, that is the body, is not able to do any damage to the soul at all. I'm more concerned with my liquid state, getting to Disneyland. My body cannot obstruct my soul from Disneyland. Even if you have blood pouring out of my head, my body will not obstruct Disneyland. I will not exploit people and abuse them. You or myself, right? As it says, even my meat is dwelling in security. Tzaddikim dwell in security. That also the body will be very good. And therefore, he is able to enjoy with his body. Even being buried in the ground, he will enjoy that. He will enjoy the eulogy. Our biggest sadness is that we're not sad at his grave. We'll say, hey, keep going. Even when he looks on the end, he'll see God. He won't see his death. But he who does not have a holy body so much, let's assume the holy man is a Jew. And let's say absolutely it's only a Jew. Just say yes. Now there's a reason why we're saying yes. A Jew has a holy body opportunity, not a non-Jew. I like to set it up this way. Everyone knows I'm a pro-ger guy. And I'm going to say, I'm not like you guys. I am Jewish and you're not. Agreed? I'm telling you, your bodies are not holy. It's a dodgy thing to say, isn't it? But let's go there. Let's try it. A Jew is holy. Anyone that's not holy, like a ger. Okay, I'm willing to hear Rebbe Nachman out. Are you? Even though his soul is incredibly high. The ger has an incredibly high soul. The ger, despite his lack of holy body, kind of understands where Disneyland is. He may even be in Disneyland. And the miracle is, God married you with an impure body. I have a holy body, but not a high soul. What does it mean, high? Let's even... Funny bone. Hey, how you doing? Let's play a game and pretend, yeah? Just by religion talk, right? I am Jewish, and I have a higher soul than you. I'm an Atzilus, and you're not. Let's just play that game. So to cater to my soul, a higher soul than you, I have a holier body than you. A holy body handles a higher soul. The ger has a impure body and an incredibly high soul. But I'm higher than you. I'm an Atzilus. So what's the chiddush? In this world, I have a higher soul than the ger. The ger, what does it mean incredibly high? He knows where his soul goes even after death. There's two lashinas of high. What does high mean? High in potential or power, or high as in the source. Remember we said the ger understand God. Death does not part, or death do us part not for the ger. The ger says, yes, dying is part of it. I am an animal. I'm more ger, I'm more animalistic. I'll play the game the rabbis play. Fine. That just means I accept death better than a Jew. And therefore, when I'm ger, not goy, my soul in Disneyland, I'm there. I am with God. The Jew would say, I'm not with God. See the difference? One is high and one is high. Two different meanings of high. One is more physical, one is more spiritual. I am more spiritual than you. I am a priest of the nations. You are more physical. Your physical soul is higher than my soul. That's why the ger is Zeranpin, the written Torah of the man. I am the woman Malchus. I'm beneath you. The other model, you flip it for another reason. It's all the Gra that says that in Shir Shirim commentary. So now, the ger, even though his soul is very high, even though his body is taken from an impure drop. Isn't this the existential question every ger asks? Why was I not, what? Born a Jew. Isn't that the question? Why did I have to be born not Jewish? Isn't the question you're really asking is, why was I born in an impure body? And it's how is it possible to change that, he says. That's the whole deal, man. Convert. How do I change my impure, animalistic, goy self to cater my insanely high soul that no one understands but me? How do I change this and somehow become Jewish and holy? Which you can't because your soul's too high. A holy body cannot contain your high soul. This is why I want to give this thing. What are we saying? Are Jews Gerim and are Gerim Jews? No. So let's stop pretending that we are. Even if we push the religious card, like I'm a Jew and you're an animal type thing, right? We all have heard that. Okay, I'll throw you a bone. Pun intended. Right? That's only half the story. It's only half the story. And the story gets better even. So hold on a second. We know the animal's a body, or the body's an animal. We know that. So they're marketing and packaging a half-truism as an insult. Is the holy body of a Jew not an animal? It's also an animal. You're a deer, right? You can either go out on the altar, or you can go out in a guy's bucket. What's the difference? It's a deer. It's a deer. Difference is I can eat one that's a Jew, the other one only a non-Jew can eat. So what? It's an animal. It's a deer. Okay, I can go in the temple with my body, and you cannot go as far in the temple with your body. So what? Then why do you insult the deer by saying, ha, you ended up in a guy's bucket? I can laugh at you, the deer offering. You are an impure sacrifice that some dodgy Cohen brought who broke the law, and you are the one Cohen that ate treif in the holy temple of God. But it's complicated, so we don't go by complication. You're only telling half the story, and then you're insulting with it. So don't do that. You. It comes out that this man, that his body is not so holy, and he's a ger, it's impossible for him to have joy with his body when he gazes on the goal of finishing life. He doesn't get a geschmack out of death. The ger doesn't say, oh boy, I get to look at God when I die. Why? Two reasons why. Why? Your body won't let you. It's too impure and animalistic. And your soul's already with God. I'm already there. So on one hand, it's irrelevant. On the other hand, it's irrelevant. Why does God give you the body? It's because it doesn't bother the soul. And why is an animal such a bad thing? It's called physicality. The nephesh, your soul is more physical than spiritual. The nephesh. So the ger is another way of saying he's more in tune with his soul. But when you put on paper, it sounds offensive. This is why you got to be over the top. The ger is more living with his soul. Only when you put him with as an ugly duckling does he get self-conscious and say, wow, I shouldn't be a soul. Then don't put him as an ugly duckling. Why do you have the right to judge kadosh and tahor and tuma as terms of better or worse? Is the deer in the bucket less than the deer of the offering? What do you care how God took out the deer? It's God who did it. This world is evil. Therefore, they use the truth as weapons. Oh, you play baseball? You're not like me. I play basketball. You're such a loser. That's 5th grade. It's 5th grade. Stop being in 5th grade. It won't hurt so bad. And this is what it meant by Jethro, that he was acutely happy on the good. Jethro was very joyous on all the good. As it says, even when he looked onward from the good, Jethro saw where his soul would go. When I'm a priest in Midian, I'm an idolater, and I am an animal. Was he an animal? Now I knew that God is the only God. What did he do? He's still an animal. He let his soul see. Jethro, come with us. You will be eyes for us, says Moses to Jethro. What did Moses want Jethro to do? Show us the Disneyland. Show us where the real Holy Land is. No, I'm going to go with my family and show them because I'm Ger. You're Jews, and I'm not one of you. I don't even know if my Disneyland is your Disneyland. I don't know, and I don't want to know. If I wanted to know, I would convert, and then I wouldn't know anymore anyways. I'm not Jewish. I'm a ger. I'm going to Disneyland. Have fun being Jewish. I wish you the best. I'll see you where it's appropriate for a ger and a Jew. And this is on all the good. That extends onward and higher on all the good. Even though he looked at it and it goes from the good, that this is to say, on the end. Jethro saw the end. Moses, this is not good what you do, you're going to tire. That's how he knew. Therefore, he was very happy. Why would he have converted if he was less than happy? Someone who's more than happy does not convert. Someone who is less than happy will convert. From the side of his soul, even when he looked on the good, it was very good. Only his soul. He disregarded his body. Okay, I was taken from an impure drop. I'm not going to let that slow me down. I'm going to Disneyland. The highest people that ever lived came out of Jethro, the Rechabites. Their souls didn't die, or their bodies didn't die, and they entered Gan Eden alive. Not too bad to be an animal, is it? We're all animals. That's the Kiddush. I mean, it's one is a priestly animal and one is not a priestly animal. But you didn't let me tell the whole story. Okay? Am I a wrestler? Yeah. Was I an NCAA champion? No. What's the lesson I have to learn in life? That I'm not a lowlife. Look, I would love to be an NCAA champion. I know you'd love to be Jews as well. Okay? But I'm not an NCAA champion. I'm not going to pretend that I am. I said I would love to be. It doesn't mean I can be. Now I can lie and cheat and steal and put a poster in my room. David Katz was the 1997 NCAA champion for Ohio State, and tell all my friends, look, I even got Tom Ryan, the head coach, to autograph it. What's that called? A novelty item. I could even make a lot of money in this world and go back to Ohio and give $1 million to Ohio State, and it'll be the David Katz Memorial Gymnasium. I can put knee pads on every day and wrestle with the guys because I give millions of dollars. Guess what? It doesn't make me an NCAA champion. Then I can wrestle with the guys and say, hey, I'm pretty good, right? I'm pretty much like an NCAA champion. They'll be like, yeah, you're practically better than us, dude. It doesn't work. I can even then study wrestling all my life and become an NCAA coach and coach NCAA champions. And they'll put me in the Hall of Fame. And they'll say, David Katz, the greatest wrestling mind that ever lived. I'm still not an NCAA champion. I can put myself in position to be reborn as a double NCAA champion. It still might never happen. And what would God do? He would bring me back and get me to the finals. And I would lose in the last second just to prove to me, you're still not an NCAA champion. And then I would say, but really I am. I was beating the guy and the ref threw me off. And it's on instant replay. Everyone saw that I won. I know a guy like this. His name was Kerry Collat. Am I an NCAA champion? Yeah, really. Everyone knows I'm the best, right? But no, me, I say, but I'm not. There's a guy, Kerry Collat. He got ripped off like in 10 tournaments in a row. A little bit more realistic, like 2 Olympics and like a world, like an insane number. In my opinion, as a fan, he was the best in the world, okay? I mean, seriously. But he never got gold. And they have an interview about him on the Flow Wrestling that I like. And he's all upset. He keeps his medals in the barn. He never, in his mind, was the best. Now, every fan of wrestling knows that he was the best. He's the best. He will die feeling a failure. You just can't beat God. Now, in my heart, I'm Jewish. In his heart, he's the best. In my heart, I am a great wrestler. That's why I have a hard time letting go. Okay? I know I'm a great wrestler and what God made me to be. I know it. God said no. Why? Because my body is an animal and it's not good enough. To be a wrestler, you have to be able to take the lumps, not be good enough for one shot. every day, wake up, be refreshed. Do I have that kind of body? No. I'm strong, I was fast, but I'm not caliber wrestler body. My animal's a different animal. I can sitzfleisch in a chair all day long and teach Torah. So again, are you Jews? No. Why? Because the tzaddik is in the flesh, not in the soul. If you say, I feel Jewish in my heart, great. That doesn't make you Jewish. You have a holy body or a not holy body. And you can't change it. Period. But God allows you to pretend like you changed it. You can be a ger who we pretend to be a Jew. And we would call it a Jew. They are Jews. Okay, I mean, look, I am a wrestler. I can put down David Katz is a wrestler. But am I a true NC, like as I envision it? No. Men are trying to get sex changes. They're not women. But society says they are women. What's the chiddush by convert? You don't even need to convert. The Torah laws are the same for convert and non-Jew. Rabbinically, it's where there's a difference. So it's like, you don't want to wait to be Jewish so you convert. The ger is basically saying, I'm willing to wait until Mashiach when I can be more Jewish. Right? It comes down to the body. The body. So then the question is, okay, can I be so ger that my body becomes holy and I can become a Jew? Because that's what all the people seat on the belt loop are asking. One second. Can I basically turn myself into a Jew? Because they're not saying I want to convert to be a half-baked Jew. They're not converting to say I want to be a low-life Jew. Those are, by the way, they're converts. Not to say that they're low-lives. But there are some people who just want to be Jewish. Look, if I could quit being a rabbi in a stupid theoretical realm and be a towel boy for the Ohio State wrestling team, I would. Not really. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know, in a fictitious world, if I could hang out with the team, in a fantasy kind of point of, you know, that's my Disneyland. That's why I'm a fan of the sport. Now, when I got there, I would say this is ridiculous. That's why it's the fantasy. Also, a lot of converts are let down when they convert. But I'm saying, in a theoretical realm, I would love to be with the guys. Some gerim are so ger, they just want to be with the Jews. And that's understandable. And they're not the ones, trying to say, I'm a better Jew than you. And vice versa, this and that. No. Is this out? Huh? What's that?
40 minutes.
Huh?
We got 40 minutes to the film.
That's fine. We're only doing this. Where did I get to? 1 second. But however, Jethro made his body extremely happy, acutely happy. The flesh, particularly, that is the body. The Jew works on the holiness of his body. Do I not have mitzvahs telling me how to be holy in my body? Kosher, Tuma, Tahara, Beis Hamikdash, Kahuna, Levi, all those Jewish things. The ger does not have 613 mitzvahs of those type. He can do them, but he doesn't have them. I have them. Women have to have face cream. Men don't have to have face cream. I like face cream. I am not a woman, but I am allowed to have soft skin. And it's a mitzvah if I do. We talk about foot cream, right? Women have to have soft feet. Men can have ugly feet. But it is a nice thing for a man to have nice feet. Men can get a manicure, not nails, but clean. Clean your hands. A mechanic probably would get some kind of manic. I know mechanics that are disgusting. I'm sure there are services to clean up man hands. Right? Oh, but a woman has to in her world. A mechanic doesn't have to. So the ger can do the priestly mitzvahs, so to speak. A nachri that learns Torah is like a kohen gadol. That's why. His body can become happy. It's still not a Jew. My body never got happy. My body didn't prevent my soul from being happy. The more I'm a Kohen, it allows my soul to fly to Disneyland. That's not what we said by Jethro. We said your body doesn't even bother your soul because your soul is already in Disneyland. The more I priest my body, my soul flies to Disneyland. We're not priesting your body. We are living and dealing with your body. Your soul is already in Disneyland. We just got to keep your body alive so you can stay in Disneyland. If you want to priestly your body, then priestly your body. But you don't have to. I have to priestly my body. But if I want to learn how to stay alive, I should probably learn from a ger how to keep my body alive. 7 laws for a Jew. If you steal, you'll get killed. Don't steal. So I am perfect. I am a priest. I hang out with ger. I don't die. It allows my soul to go to Gan Eden. That's my perfect happiness in this world. You just don't die. Your soul's with God, but you're an animal. You can priestly your body, but we still haven't hit the mark. How do you perfect your body? You're not going to become a real Kohen when you do the priestly mitzvahs. Right? I don't get points for manicure nails. I'm just not disgusting. Okay, if you act like a priest, you're not disgusting. You're a holy ger. That's fine. But what does it get you? Jacques not going to like me any better because my nails aren't disgusting. It's just a personal thing. But if I, or the woman has ugly nails, we're going to say, what a nasty woman. Since he was a ger, Jethro's a ger, he's happy, his soul's flying, he made his body pleasurable. Now the question is, the question was, does that make you a Jew? Can you make your body holy? The answer is no. If you keep trying to hit your head against a wall, it will bleed. Right? I will never be an attractive man with my manicure. You'll never say, wow, he's so clean, he's sexy. Would never happen, would it? And what's his face is trying to do that in the news. What's his, the Jenner, whatever his name is. Lo hava simchaso begufo. He wasn't joyous in his body when he looked on the end. And he made his body happy, The ger, when he looks and recognizes his soul is in Disneyland, his body will start to be happy. So he didn't remove the impurity. He only acted like an animal because it's midot. Right? Your body has programming. If you want to act like an animal, you will act like an animal. So then just deprogram it. Don't act like an animal. Act like a mensch. All of a sudden, his body is happy. What is that called? A happy man. A happy human being. So now, did he have to become Jewish to become perfected and elevated? You want to stop being an animal? Be happy. Be happy. And no one will ever call you an animal again. You wipe out the animal code. The deer that died on the Mizbeach, on the altar, he wasn't called a deer anymore. He was called a carbon. You want to stop being called an animal? Be a happy man. I thought about this today. How'd it go? how'd it go? I want Mashiach, I'm not happy. Right, we've heard this. I thought, how would Jacques answer this? Why don't we need Mashiach to be happy? The covenant. If you're in the covenant, you have Mashiach now, and it allows you to engage in this world, and you just don't need Mashiach. So we don't have to look to something false. So being a Jew for a ger is like a Jew waiting for Mashiach. If you are a man now, then the problems that you ran into are gone, and you're content and satisfied now. You wipe out the problem. I thought I had to convert to get this problem out of me. Just be happy as a man, the problem goes away. So if you're a man, and you're happy, and your soul's in Disneyland, and I'm a holy Jew, being a light to nations, you say, that's the revelation of the covenant. Now we both know where our souls are. We both know where our bodies are. One is a Jew, one is a ger, and they're different. And we live our lives according to Torah. Fear God and keep His commandments. Thank you.